All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our last team call of March. And I thought it would be really helpful for us during this time to focus on just some basic business disciplines that we all should be doing as leaders every single month, and just some specific things that you can do. Um, Really, honestly, throughout the month, this is beneficial, but especially these last 5 days of a month, because it gives you just three areas that you can really be focusing, and that with the goal of sort of mining all the points that you can on these last 5 days, and also helping the people on your team to increase their points, reach their goals, because that's really where the fun is, right? Is us not necessarily growing points, but having lots of individuals on our team that we're seeing them have the opportunity to grow their points and grow their business and grow their paycheck. So there's three areas, and we're going to call these basic business disciplines. Okay. So the idea is this isn't just like a one-time training, but hopefully these will be things that you'll jot down. And I would, if I were in your shoes, I would even go to your calendar, whether you do a paper planner or electronic, and make a note around the last week of each month, just a recurring reminder to block out some time and work on these disciplines those last 5 or 7 days of the month, so that you can make sure, like I said, that you're kind of mining every possible point and helping your team to hit their goals. I think one thing that we have to sort of back up and say, though, is in order to help your team hit their goals, you've got to be right there with them at the beginning of each month, helping them to set those goals, right? Then you can work with them throughout the month. You can hold them accountable. You can troubleshoot with them and know what it is that they're shooting for, so that you can help them to get that. So it's nice because here we are, the last week of the month, and yeah, we're trying to finish March strong, but then immediately we get to shift gears into April and how we're going to set goals for April, and just, kind of rinse, wash, and repeat each month. It's just a system that you have in place for leading and managing your business. So let's look, and let me just first say, I have some graphics. They're based, how our back office is changing. These are based on the old back office. And in some ways, they're based a little bit on the old comp plan, but you'll get the gist of the idea. Okay. So I'm going to show you these graphics so that you can visually walk along with me. But just know that whether you're using the old virtual office or the new one, the concepts apply either way. Okay. All right. So here we go. Our first discipline is identifying your partial PVers and moving them up to the next threshold. So with our newer comp plan, used to, you either had 99 PV and your sponsor had 0 points, or you had 100 PV and your sponsor had 5 points, right? Well, with our new comp plan, we've got those thresholds. So 25 PV, you get a few points, 50 PV, you get a few points, and then 100 PV, you get more. So what I want you to be thinking about here is not necessarily moving someone who's at 22 PV up to 100, but let's just get them up to 50, right? So then that way you can jump up the number of points that you're getting for them. And whenever I say that you're getting, I want you to be thinking too about, okay, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to do this, but then I'm going to teach people on my team to do the same. And it's another way to do duplication is think of it like reach 3, teach 3. Okay. So each one of these concepts, I'm personally going to do it with 3 people. Like I'm going to reach out to 3 of my level 1s that are at partial PV and try to bump them over. But then I'm going to teach 3 of my teammates how to do this exact same thing, where they dig into their back office, they identify 3 that they can go and reach out to. Okay. So think of it like that with all 3 of these disciplines. I'm going to reach 3, and then I'm going to teach 3 people of mine to do this as well. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at discipline number 1, which is identifying those partial PVers and bumping them up over to the next threshold. So here's how you identify them first. Our back offices are a gold mine of information. And I think the more that we can get back there, play around, look at our reports, just like identify different areas, the more opportunity that we see. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but whenever I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know what to do with my business, if I can find something in my back office, like a group of people to just as a strategy go after and like target them and go and help them, that it makes me feel empowered and excited, and I can, have a good productive block of work time that day. So hopefully these different disciplines will kind of give you some ideas of sections of your business that you can dig in your back office and then go tackle them. Okay, so step 1 is you go to points and rank up, and then step 2, I honestly, I would switch over this. Just go to step 3. And what you want to do is if you'll click once on their PV and then click on it again, it will sort rank them from highest PV to lowest PV. And then obviously anybody who's got more than 100 PV, you can scroll on past those for this particular activity. And then you want to get down to those that are 99 PV and below. So that would be this column right here. And also you can sort by your level. So you can just look at your level 1s. You can just look at your levels 2 and 3. And I think it's good to look at least levels 1 through 4, because there might be some people that are your level 4s that they don't have a working sponsor, but you have a relationship with that you could reach out to as well. So, and then the other thing you want to be sure and do is look at their subscription, because they might have 0 PV right now, but their subscription process is on the 28th and it's a 100 PV subscription. So that wouldn't be somebody that you would necessarily want to reach out to. But you can see here, this first person on the top of this list, they have 53 PV. So they maybe purchased some sweet teas. Well, no, I don't know. They purchased something. Let's pretend they purchased like a sweet tea slim earlier in the month. And they have a subscription in place for 22 PV. Okay. And that's going to process. Now think about this. So 53 plus 22, that's giving you 75 PV. Not bad for a level 1. That's going to give you 4 points, right? Right now they're at 53 PV though. That's also 4 points. So there's not going to be a bump when their subscription processes. Are you guys tracking with me there? At 53 PV, a level 1 gives you 4 points. You don't get a bump on that to the next sort of tier until they go over 100. So this would be someone that you might want to reach out and be like, hey, you've got your subscription that's going to process on the 28th. And then look at what's in there and like kind of think about, okay, what they ordered, what's in their subscription, what's something that could round that out from a product combo standpoint, really give them great results, but then also bump them up over 100 PV whenever it processes. And then it's just a matter of just like reaching out to them. And I have an example here of a reach out, but you could modify the products based upon their specific example. So this one says, hey, I'm glad you're loving your slim. I wanted to see if you know about our, oh goodness, we don't want that. Our X Factor, or you guys, balance is such a hit with slim. That would be a great thing that you could talk to them about. And then just, say my goal as your sponsor is just to help you have the very best results. And so I was curious if you might want to add balance to your subscription that's going to process on the 22nd. The whole idea and your heart, like the approach that you want to be, the place you want to be coming from is truly adding value and helping them. And so, yes, it's a sort of like cherry on top if they end up doing it and you get more points. But if you're coming from a place of truly adding value and trying to help them and help them have success and achieve the best results, then it's going to feel really good having these different conversations with them. But this is a way where you're being very targeted and you're not just like this blanket, hey, everybody I've ever sold to, do you want some balance? But you can look specifically at 3 or 4 people, what they have ordered in the past, or maybe what they're currently ordering, and find some good combinations that are going to help them. Okay. So I always start with my people that have like 97 PV or 92 PV, where just something small would bump them over. You also might look at people who just order slim and really target balance with them, slim and balance with them. We also still have our sweet tea slim. So maybe someone that you know loves slim, but they might enjoy a different flavor. They could add, order a bag of an extra bag of slim. Okay. So just a few ideas to be, just kind of tips to be thinking about. Oh, reset. Reset's another thing. I know the reset's free just for new VIPs, but just be thinking about like those people that are on slim, if they would buy a reset, and maybe you create a reset group that's going to start like on April 1st, where you guys could all kick off April together. You could do a reset together and then get some of those people that are just your good, faithful slim users to throw a reset in. And then that way it would bump them over as well. So you can be creative with this. The whole goal here with this looking in your back office, though, is applying some strategery on who you're reaching out to and what you're saying and what you're recommending to them. Okay, let's see. The only other thing that you might want to add is if you've got someone whose subscription is 75 PV, you may want to chat with them about perks and just let them know that if they want to try balance in their subscription, it'll bump them up over 100 PV, which will get them about $10 in perks that they can use for future orders. Sometimes that's just the thing people need to hear, and they go, oh, okay, that's easy. And yes, I do want to try balance. And so then they've got this sort of double bonus of getting to try the product, but then having the perks for next month. So that's something else you can kind of throw in there. And one thing too that I want to point out is your levels 2 and 3. If you get them from, if they're already resting in that 50 to 99 PV and they're your level 2 or 3, you're getting 2 points for them. Okay. If you get them, that particular group up over 100, you actually get an added 3 points each. So it jumps from 2 points to 5 points. From the standpoint of like maximum benefit for your effort, those are 2 groups you really want to focus on, because that's a big jump to go from 99 PV to 100 for your levels 2 and 3. You're going to get 3 additional points for those 2 groups. So just something to think about. That's not the case even for your level 1s. Your level 1s, you go from 4 to 6, but your levels 2 and 3, you go from 2 to 5. So you get additional points. Does that make sense? You guys see what I'm saying on that? Okay. All right. Any questions on that one? All right. So that's our first discipline, is identifying your partial PV. So anybody between 1 and 99, and then moving them up to the next tier where you'll get additional points. And then what was our little catchphrase? Reach 3 and then teach 3. So start with just finding 3 people that you can reach out to and have this conversation with them, and then identify 3 of your business builders and teach them how to do this. All right. Okay. All right. Our next discipline is our 0 PV. So these are people who have quit, or maybe just this month they haven't ordered. So they have 0 PV. Okay, so again, you go to your points and rank up, and you do that same where you click on PV and then you click on it again, and that's going to sort by PV. And then obviously you want to focus in on your level ones first, because those are the people that you have a relationship with, right? Don't forget to check their subscription, because again, they may have 0 PV, but it may just be because their subscription processes tomorrow or on the 28th. For those that don't have a subscription in place, then you want to engage in a conversation with them. Again, we're coming from a place of helping. And I think sometimes, especially if it's been a while since somebody's ordered, there's this message in the box. You can tweak it however you want, but I really like this because it kind of helps you to gauge where their head is. So, hey, so-and-so, I wanted to check in and see how you're feeling. I'm sure you're out of product by now, so wanted to see where you are with Plexus. I'd love to help you get the results you wanted and feel great. So would you be willing to share which of these you relate to most? Number one, you've moved on, but you will let me know if there's a deal, or no, I've moved on, but let me know if there's a deal or something new. 2, I would love to try again and see if I want the same thing or something different. Or 3, I want to try again, get my products paid for so I can keep ordering them for a long time. So kind of gives you a sense of, did they quit because they didn't see results? Did they just kind of fall off the wagon? Or did they quit because they ran the money was a situation? So it can kind of gauge where they are. And like I said, you guys can tweak this however you want. But if they reply back with 1, then you're like, okay, you can tell them about Sweet Tea Slim, or you can tell them about the Slim and Balance kind of viral results that people are having, or you can tell them about Slim and Reset, that we can get a free reset right now. And you guys all know, if they haven't had any kind of an order in the last 6 months, then you can clear them out of the system and start them fresh, where they'll get that free reset. So this is a group of people that could really help you to get your watch, could help people on your team to get your watch, and then obviously, help with rank ups and things like that. And if they didn't have success the first go around, or if they have quit for some reason, we really do want to be able to help them achieve the results that they came to us for in the first place, right? So this is a great group of people to really be focusing on this time of the month. And especially as I'm assuming we're all shooting for adding at least 6 so that we can get those watches, right? So let's see, additional tips. We want to make sure that subscription just hasn't processed. And then you go at this from the same approach as we did the first discipline, which was look back at what it was that they ordered when they first started with you. Look back at some of their past orders, which you guys know how to do that, right? You just find them in your points and rank up, and then there's a little plus sign right below them. You can click on that, and then you can dig into what they've ordered in the past, the last time they ordered. If they just haven't ordered this last 30 days, they can use that save 10 discount code. Is that still going on? Okay, I thought so. I was trying to remember because I tried to use it the other day and it didn't work, but then I think I realized it's because she has placed an order in the last 30 days. So that's another thing. They've got $10 off if they want to dive back in. I would really try to identify those people that haven't ordered in the past 6 months, get them cleared out of the system, and see if they would like to, come back at it with a free reset, because that gives you a really great excuse to be able to reach out to them with having something with so much value with the free reset. All right, any questions, thoughts? Remember, our heart posture in this is, and we want to open up dialogue. We want to help them. They came to you for some reason in the past, and maybe they met their goals and decided to just quit the products, but maybe they didn't meet their goal. And so you want to revisit that with them and tell them that you really do want to help them in any way that you can to achieve their goal. Always a good excuse to share something new. So the Sweet Tea Slim, the reset deal, things like that. And then another good thing that you can do, and here's the thing, this may just be where you are opening up the conversation. It may not actually translate into business this month, but you can just kind of reevaluate the conversation and kind of open that back up, because they already were warm to the idea of Plexus, right? At some point. And so maybe they just lost belief, or maybe they need to see some testimonies, or maybe they realize that they weren't ready before. And you just got to refresh their memory on some of the great results that other people have had. So it's always good to share stories to re-engage that conversation as well. Like, hey, I know whenever you started in the past, your goal was to lose some weight. I just ran across this story of my friend so-and-so, and she's using our Slim and Balance, and these were her results. Is that something that you'd be interested in learning more about? So just opening up that conversation. All right, questions on discipline number 2? No, yes. Okay. All right, the next one is the third one. This might be my favorite one. I don't really know why. Well, I do know why. It's because it's more about them and not about me. And this is about identifying potential rank advancements on your team. And you can go as deep in your levels as you want to on this. Okay, guys? Obviously you're level 1s, but even a level 2 or 3 or 7, if they are super duper close to going silver, or they're super duper close to maintaining gold, maybe they just weren't aware that they were at 93 points. It's like, as business owners, as leaders, this is a great opportunity for us to build belief in people, to troubleshoot with them, to show up for them, and really help them to see that you want them to be successful, and you're ready to dive in and make it happen with them. So on this one, you go to points and rank up, and then you want to sort by achieved rank first, because if we're looking for rank ups, then they're going to get their silver bonus only if they've never achieved silver before, right? So you first do that, and then you're looking and saying, okay, this person is a senior ambassador. That means that they've never hit silver before, but they're sitting at 10 points. So really, with just one more person, and again, this was back with our old comp plan, so that would actually be 12 points right now. So with just one more person that's commission qualified, they would hit silver. So then you get to have a conversation with them about, hey, if you can find a friend or family member who wants to do triplex, they'll get a free $90 reset. And then just like partner with them and help them have that conversation, or help them make a post, or help them reach out to a friend or family member who would love to have that free reset. So those are the people that you're looking at here, are the ones who have only ever achieved senior ambassador, but they're sitting pretty high on those points. And then the next one you would look at would be people who are silver, but are getting really close to senior silver at 50 points, right? So maybe somebody who's like around 30 or 40. They obviously have demonstrated that they know how to share, but they just need that little extra bump and support and encouragement to get them up over 50. And then you can talk about the bonus that they'll get. And then so on and so forth. So look at those that are super close to gold, and then helping them to rank up over gold. So this is always a lot of fun, and it's good for so many reasons. But when we have an incentive like we do with the watch, and we've got the free reset at our disposal for new people, it really makes it a fun conversation to be able to have with your teammates. And maybe they saw the watch and they were like, it's like, that's more than I know how to do. that's okay. Then let's just back them down and say, hey, why don't you just get to silver and then you can use your $100 toward a watch or toward whatever it is that you want, right? $100 nobody's going to turn down. But sometimes they just don't know what to do. And we know how to do that. We know how to help them. We know how you could add them to our Spring into Action chat group just for this last week and show them exactly what to do as far as posts that they can make, using that ClickBook and figuring out messages that they can send. You have everything that you need to teach somebody how to share and how to reach out. And then just a matter of building that belief in them and showing them that they can totally do this and that the benefit to them is going to be some cash that they'll enjoy. Okay, so those are the three basic business disciplines. Again, at the beginning of this, I shared this is something that the last week of every month we should all be doing. We should be combing our back office, looking for potential, looking for opportunities, identifying people who didn't order this month, or maybe they ordered, but it was less than 100 PV, identifying people who are super duper close to ranking up. And then in each one of these categories, we want to reach 3, and then we want to teach 3, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're just going to transition right into our Work With Me Live, and this is what we're going to do. So I want to go back to that first business discipline, and what we'll do is we're just going to like mine the data right now, okay? And then you guys can send your messages out later. But what I want you to do is go into your back office. And the first thing we're going to do is identify 3 people that you like, 3 of your level 1s, or maybe a level 2 or 3 that you know that fall within this category of being less than 100 PV, but close to either that next threshold, which remember the thresholds are 25, 50, and 100. The 25 only applies to ambassadors though. It does not apply to VIPs. So if you have someone who has 22 PV, but they're a VIP, you're going to need to get them up over 50 to get any points for them, okay? So that's important. But here's what I want you to do. We're just going to take 5 minutes, dig into your back office, and write down 3 names of people you identify, and then dig into them a little bit. So if it's Sarah and she's at 78 PV, then you want to look at some of her past orders. Maybe in the past she ordered X Factor, or maybe in the past she ordered Vital Biome, and maybe just kind of formulate what would be a good strategy for Sarah. She's got Slim right now, but I see she's ordered this consistently in the past. Maybe I should bring that back up. Or maybe I should just abandon that and see if she wants to add balance and send her a testimony of someone who's had really great results with balance. So just kind of jot down a little bit of a plan. Just 3 people, guys. This isn't like, we're not going out and not the whole back office. We're just finding 3 people that I can reach out to today and just open up that conversation. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is I want you then to think of your team, your working ambassadors. And you might even kind of look and see, oh, this level 2 or 3 of mine falls within this category. And she's under, I'm trying to think of random names that aren't Susie or Sally. She's under Sally. I'm just going to say it. So I'm going to reach out to Sally and teach her how to do this so she can reach out to that person because she's got the relationship with them, right? So she's going to have a much greater chance of, adding value to that relationship. All right, so I'm going to pause or mute, and I'm going to do this too. I need to dig into my back office and identify these opportunities, and then just write them down. Write down the 3 you're going to reach, and then the 3 you're going to teach with regard to this particular discipline. Okay, so I personally identified someone who always I do this pretty frequently with my business, what we're doing right now. And so I know she's not a 100 PVer. She's kind of a sporadic orderer. I just realized I wasn't aware of this. I hadn't noticed that she ordered the sweet tea and she ordered Probio 5. And so this is kind of an aside, but I have now an excuse to reach out to her, follow up, see how she liked the sweet tea slim, ask her what her health goals are, and see if I can't kind of spark something for her to get going on a higher level again. So that's the other thing that happens whenever you do stuff like this is you're like, oh, you just like be curious, be curious about your business. Okay, so did everybody find 3 to reach and then find 3 to teach? Okay. All right, so let's move to the next one, which was discipline number 2. Oh, that's not what you guys want, which is the 0, like people who have not ordered. Okay, this is where there's a lot of opportunity here, especially when you think about that Apple Watch and just digging in and being like, okay, this person hasn't ordered in 6 months. I'm going to see if they're interested. And one of the things I always like to say is, it's actually really good news that you haven't ordered in a while, or it's actually going to work to your advantage because it's been so long since you ordered that you now qualify to get a free reset. And then they're like, oh, what do I got to do? And then you're like, okay, all you got to do is order a combo, you get a free reset. And so it's almost like you spin it to like, well, aren't you a lucky one? You get a free reset because you haven't ordered in so long. But you want to make sure before you say that they actually qualify to be cleared out of the system. And that means nothing can have processed, like nothing can have hit their account in the last 6 months. So not even their annual membership fee, nothing can have no activity. Okay. But also, if they don't fall within that, then you can still engage them in a conversation. Maybe, like I said, maybe you have a reset chat group that you're all going to start on April 1st, and they could be a part of that. Or you could ask them this question down here in the corner, trying to understand why they quit, and then tailor your next step based upon the information that they share. So now you're going to pretty much do the same thing, but you're looking for that PV that's 0, and then identifying 3 people that you can reach out and re-engage and see if they would be interested in getting started back up. And then you could teach 3 different people on your team this, or maybe the 3 you identified on the first one would be appropriate for teaching them this as well. And how fun would it be for you to grab those 3 people and do a little Zoom and kind of show them some of this and show them how that they can dig into their back office. So let's go identify our 3 0 PVers and then look into their past ordering habits, see if they just haven't ordered in over a month and you can offer the save 10, or see if it's been more than 6 months, you could clear them out of the system, whatever it might be, and jot some notes down on what your approach will be whenever you go to message them. Okay, now we're going to move to number 3, which is identifying those people who are close to a rank up. So you can look, a couple of ways you might want to do this is you might want to look at current team-wide points, which is what the graphic shows. Oh, let me share screen real quick. So I like to do that and see how close people are, especially this close to the end of the month, and see, they may have, sorry guys, they may have, is that the right? Yeah. Okay, so you sort by team points. You kind of have to scroll over a little bit and again, click on team points and then click on it again, and it'll sort them as descending. So you can see currently how many points they're at. And if they're super close to one of those rank advancements, then you can have that conversation. But sometimes I also like to change it to the end of last month and see how close they were last month. So there's some people that may have just barely missed a rank or something like that. Or it's good too to kind of see growth over last month and praise them for, oh my goodness, you grew X number of points since last month and you're so close to hitting senior silver and getting a $150 bonus or whatever it might be. So and then the silvers are really typically more abundant, obviously, just because you've got a lot of people sitting in that area. So start there, but just think about casting vision and think about encouraging people and showing them that they can do this and that you've done it and you're here to help them and you're willing to help them. And, it can seem kind of scary, but we got this. So make sure that you're, casting that vision for them. So let's, in this instance, let's identify at least 3 people. Again, it doesn't matter. You can go down as many levels as possible. And sometimes it's good, like if they don't have a working upline, sure, you can work directly with them. But if they do have a working upline, then that would be the first person I would reach out to and be like, hey, Maria, guess what? You're probably already aware of this, but so-and-so is one new VIP away from hitting silver. Have you talked to her? How can we help her? Yada, yada, yada. So engage their upline in the process if they've got an upline who's working. Okay, so just go in, sort by team points, identify some people who are close to a rank up, and then write them down on your list of people to reach out to. We'll just take a couple of minutes and do that. All righty. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up, but hopefully that's given you some direction. And now, even though we just made a list of 3, you can do that and then circle back and do it again, find some more people. And I would really, really, really encourage you to identify some people on your team that you can teach these 3 areas to, or just remind them of. It may be something that they've done in the past or know about, but just aren't doing right now. And so I don't know, it just always makes me feel empowered to like have very specific things that I can do and tackle and then be productive in that process. So, all right. Thanks, guys. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. It was good to see you. We'll see you later.